All right, so here we are. Today we're interviewing Sarah Richman. Hi, Sarah. I've known you for a long time, good long time. I was coached by your brother. We just mentioned your brother in a bracket video.
Ooh.
So good times. I know that your philosophy for nationals seemed to be somewhat like memorizing verses while you were there. Is that what I've heard?
That was mine. Yes.
And
Yeah.
you were amazingly effective at it, I heard.
Well, it was. I'm more scared of my coach because I was back in the day when we would listen to the verses and then they would come up later and I could do my jump and they wouldn't really necessarily notice that I was up because I moved really slow. And then I'd quiz and answer stuff that I'd heard earlier in the day. So I often gave my coach heart attacks versus actually studying.
Nice.
So Steve's name and Jason's name and their names are on the board out there. My name is not on the board.
But it sounds like it wasn't because you lacked talent. Maybe it was the.
I won a lot of jumps, practice jumps.
Yes, that I've heard, yeah.
Got me nothing.
I remember Austin Larson, he was pretty good at that whole practice jump thing. And, I mean, he's not here to defend himself.
Well, exactly.
So let's throw him on the bus. All right, so we brought you today. Wanted to talk to you about your group that you're coaching these days with New City. So tell us a little bit about your kids, where they come from, how they got here, all that.
So New City Kids is located in Jersey City, New Jersey, and we are right across from Manhattan. And so we are city, very much so. And most of my kids are from directly in Jersey City. New City now has 3 sites within Jersey City, and it's an after-school center and teen internship program. And so we staff our after-school center, which is 1st through 8th graders with the teenagers. And part of their job, it's a paid internship, so they're getting paid, but they're also getting like life skills and things like that. And just got back from college tour, we take the juniors on, SAT class, all of that sort of stuff. And our goal is to help the middle 60. There's the 20% that are really well supported and will do really well, and there's the bottom 20 that we're going to take all of our efforts, but then there's the middle 60 that would fall through the cracks without some support. So we go for them, and they turn into these amazing young people. So my team this year consists of 2 of my teenagers who work at our 2 different sites, and the other 5 are all kids within my after-school center. And they happen to be all 12, 13 years old, so they're 7th, 8th graders. And so my 3 8th graders are getting ready to apply for their jobs at New City next year, so we'll have a job fair in June, so hopefully they'll be employees next year. But yeah, so most of them have been quizzing for quite some time. Miguelfi, this is her 1st year at Nationals, but she's technically been quizzing since she's about 8 years old, and so she's been begging me, and she finally gets to come to Nationals. So
Oh,
she's
great.
excited.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It sounds like a good program.
Yeah, so I was seeing some posts there on Facebook and other areas, on the internet about your ministry, and I know you guys were looking for I guess, information and just some assistance with coming to nationals, and you guys were big into fundraising and everything like that. Do you have a website right now that you'd be able to share, if people wanted to help with future projects or future nationals trips? I know that you've had a lot of people donate you in the past, but is there a way that we can help you in that way in the future?
Yeah, New City Kids has its own website. It's www.newcitykids.org. And then if you go on this, you can go /donate, or there's a little donate button up in the corner. And then when you scroll down, and there's a 4 box, and you can select campaigns and Bible quizzing. And I am not necessarily hugely technically savvy, but I am really good at Instagram. And so our thing this year was to do a giant checkbox. So I decided that we need to raise $5,000 because we have a little bit of money within our budget, but since we are a nonprofit, most of our budget goes to paying our teams, running our after-school center, going to college tours, all that sort of stuff. So because Bible quizzing is kind of my pet program, they say, okay, you can have a little bit, but everything else you need to raise. And we have to fly because I coach a team of public school students and I can only get them off for a certain number of days. And to do the bus trip here, we'd have to take an extra day on either side. And so I can convince the parents and convince the teachers to give me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So in order for us to fly 9 people out, I figured $5,000. So I broke that down. If I could find 250 people to donate $20, I'm not good at math, but I used my good old calculator and figured that out. And so I had 250 little check boxes, and as people would donate $20 or $40 or $100, I would give them little checks, and then brought some swag by for people who had supported New City. And I think honestly, God has allowed me to do this and has allowed me to raise the funds. I mean, I've baked cookies. I have done quotathons, which they don't really get what a quotathon is. They don't really work in the inner city. But I've done all sorts of stuff to try and just get the word out there about quizzing. And anybody who walks in and sees my girls rattle off verses, you know, even just 10 verses in a row amazes a lot of people that work with them. And so that they start spreading the word, different things like that. So yeah, newcitykids.org/donate in the 4-box, campaigns, Bible quizzing. And that will get us, you know, we obviously made it to nationals. So we've made it, our budget year ends in July, beginning of July, so whatever we raise up until then will go for camp next year and nationals next year, so we are continually raising, but God has been good.
That's great.
We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, that's for sure. And so tell us about the first day. So you quizzed the first day, how'd it go?
We did. Think? Oh my gosh, the first quiz, McGelfie, who is again one of my rookies, made me look like the best coach ever. She comes in off the bench, I put her in. The next question is a 1 Corinthians 13, which never comes up. McGelfie gets the jump and gets the quiz, or gets the question, so our rookie has had her first answer.
Nice to get that out of the way.
It was a couple of seconds, couple of thirds. We ran into some tough teams. Felt a little like a buzzsaw here and there.
Yeah, right.
We don't have anybody else to compete with. It's just kind of our girls against each other. So they don't really kind of get up to speed as much as everybody else, which is that's our next step, is to find other people to compete against. But you know, our goal kind of always is, once we get here, have fun, do your best, show the love of Christ. And that's their mission as they're here. And you know, I am not one to support bad attitudes or getting frustrated or down. And keep going. You remember Kim Cotnier probably? She was our coach. She used to tell us to flick stuff off. So that's next quiz, next question. Keep it going, have fun, do your best.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sarah. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing ICE, your team.
Yes. Yes, Quincy knows where that comes from. I will put my head
One
up
of
and
the
start
funniest
laughing.
moments of our Bible camp that I can remember.
I was surrounded by Quincy and Steve, and I don't think we
laughed so hard we almost threw up, I think. I almost threw up.
It was close. It was close. There's visible proof somewhere on the internet of Kayla freezing everyone as Elsa.
Oh man.
So we are not ICE informant agents or anything like that. We are Elsa freezing everyone.
Well, if any of you get a chance to check out a team in the upcoming days, maybe you have a bye or maybe look for a team to watch, I encourage you to go check out ICE. They're kids that are easy to root for, and they even do some singing.
I was going to say, if you are interested in hearing some fun singing, and we are not hard to miss.
Yes. All right. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.